So today we're talking about vinyl record sales and how they've gone up drastically in the last couple of years.
Breaking news.
It's well,
a slow news day.
Yeah, it has been a slow news week as far as what's happened in the entertainment industry.
How's Post Malone doing? He broke his ribs, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, all right. I'm just messing around. Let's get back to the real stuff.
Yeah, but either way, I think it's still an interesting topic because it's this kind of, I feel like, first off, like there's obviously something happening in the ether with vinyl. There's like a resurgence as things typically happen in entertainment and just across the board with culture. Things are cyclical, so it's kind of making a resurgence now. I'm curious as to why it's happening. Maybe there's kind of like a mystique about the vinyl sound and like not being able to capture that in the streaming side of things. But it's growing drastically, even with the wait times on some of the stuff like being 9 months to a year. People are still ordering and they don't care. So I think it's kind of wild that that's happening. And it also puts a lot more money in the pockets of the artists and the people that are actually investing into the music versus the streaming stuff, which is making, leaps in how they're paying their artists out, but still not where it needs to be.
Do you have it pulled up, Chris, the article? Not that we need to see it or anything like that, but the numbers on how much a record sales did last year versus Spotify's streaming sales. This is what I agree that it is going up a lot, but it's not even putting a dent in Spotify. Not Spotify, but just streaming. You know what I mean? It was something like, what, 550 million, something like that?
For vinyl versus like $7
like
billion.
$8 billion for Spotify.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was 570 million.
So and they're both going up, and obviously, more people are being born, but they're not they're not buying records. The babies aren't. But I'm trying to say this is it is very interesting that is coming back. But I think that what it comes down to is that everybody has music for $10 a month.
Yeah.
So they got more money to spend on the actual physical copies of stuff. That's the only reason I can think of. It seems like you're not going to ever listen to a record in your car, ever. You're only going to be able to listen at home. And most people, I'm pretty sure they just buy it and never listen to it.
Yeah,
never
maybe.
Put it on. Maybe put it on one time.
Well,
that's it.
It's a standalone piece of merchandise or art.
That's all it is at the end of the day. It's merchandise.
Have you heard about this, Rick? Are you familiar with this phenomena happening right now?
Yeah, I would say I'm a participant in that phenomena. I definitely love buying vinyl records. I've been, probably the last 10, 12 years trying to amass a collection. But I see it as like they both exist. I'm happy to hear that vinyl sales are continuing to go up. Streaming, I kind of just as a songwriter, I'm like, I look at my BMI statements. I'm like, Spotify is like 0.002 cents, or like it's like nothing. So I just don't even think about streaming it, at least at the level I'm at, which is not a huge hit pop songwriter. Vinyl, I love the tactile experience. Just all the stuff people love about vinyl. You put the thing on, you're setting your intention to listen to some music. Hopefully you focus on it a little bit more than you would if you just put something on shuffle on Spotify or whatever. And I love that aspect of it. And sonically, you can make an argument. It sounds better. It doesn't. It's warmer, whatever. I think anybody's entitled to their opinion. But I think it's good. If somebody wants to buy vinyl, whatever reason they're doing it for, just to support an artist, like a smaller artist, I want to, pay $40 for like a nice gatefold thing and be able to look at the lyrics and pictures and stuff. I think that's great. I mean, I play with an artist named Dan Nettles. He's got a band called Kenosha Kid, and he just did this crazy vinyl project. It's a 3-album set, and he personally hand designed all the album covers and included all these liner notes and just made it a very special thing. And I like to experience music that way. I hope more people will continue to do that. Streaming, I mean, fuck Daniel Ek, fuck Spotify. I need you, but also fuck you.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
I totally get that. I think it's great because it's, again, putting money back in the artist's pocket, but there's also the experience of going to the record store and sifting through and seeing what's out there. And
every one of those albums that you have, where you were when you bought it. It's memory, it's a snapshot of your life.
Yeah. And I also Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like I had to like defend myself because I was buying these records. I'm not trying to say I was doing it before anybody else, because the records have been around since the 40s, 20s even. But I was in high school, middle school buying records, and people were like, "Why aren't you listening to CDs? Like that's for like old people and stuff like that." I'm like, "Cause it's cool. I get to hold it. Look how big the album art is. You can like really look at it."
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not a hard sell for me.
No, totally.
Either, at all.
I think like the numbers also, even though they're obviously nowhere near what streaming numbers are, it's just
It's coming back.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's up something like 70% from its previous sales, like even within the last 5 years or something.
Bring back the record club deals, like they come in the mail.
I used to love.
I bet
those,
they have it somewhere or whatever.
Yeah,
Spotify
there's a few
should
out
do
there.
that.
send records out.
I'm just trying to make him mad.
They just they just own all like the means of production on record or on like vinyl now, and they just start like paying artists out like 0.0 cents or 0.01 cent per record sale now.
Oh my god,
that'd be awful.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they're basically like an audio company now. Like they were never a music company, but now it's just like, I mean, no offense, but if you're gonna like pay podcast people the same as like somebody that spent bajillions of dollars to make like one song and master it and like spend all this money on it, that's just not this. Like you're putting them on the same platform as. There's just something inequitable about that to me, and I'm a huge purveyor of podcasts too. But yeah, it's just they're not trying to help musicians. They're not a music company. The major labels are in bed with Spotify. They have market share.
Totally.
You know, their interest is not to help songwriters or the people who make the whole thing go. You know, somebody's like masterpiece that they spent their whole lives on is essentially worth the same in Spotify's eyes as, you know, like whatever dumb story I just told on this podcast.
No, totally. I mean, we're on both sides of it. We spent $20,000 on our last album. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like out of our own pockets. You know, so it's like,
Yeah.
and we haven't.
You know the struggle.
Yeah, we haven't seen a dime out of. I mean, whatever. Like. Yeah, a couple of dimes we've seen out of it. You know what I mean? But like,
waiting for that 1,001st play so that we can get that, get rid of that carrot.
yeah,
The little, that's so insulting.
I know.
yeah, it really is.
Less than 1,000. We don't even bother to count it.
No.
I want to see somebody with 16 plays.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Let me like be the 17th play. I would feel good about
Literally, as a listener, it's like, yeah, your contribution. Like, what contribution was I to this play? How many plays did I have on it? You know what I mean? Totally. So yeah, we get it, man. I mean, it takes we do like we do how many episodes per? We do like 12 episodes per season.
Oh, the podcast.
And we pump these things out. We have a production team that helps us as well.
Yeah,
but like
a lot of work goes into this.
But like our last album, which was what 7, we did 7 songs on the EP.
Yeah,
that took us 2 years to put out almost because of the pandemic and all that shit. So yeah, totally. It's a mind fuck about how the whole thing works, honestly. So I'm stoked to hear record sales are going up. I haven't invested in any vinyl because it's too much money and we don't sell enough tickets to justify having.
You have to buy it in such huge bulk, and then on top of it, you're gonna have to wait like 8 months for you to get it.
Yeah,
so you go through someplace else that's private. But it's and then you're selling your records for like $40 at a show, and like that. Ugh.
Yeah, you have to have
people buy them now because they don't know how much records are. They're like the first timers or whatever. I'm like, no, it's like $40. That's so much for a record.
Well, not just that, but I think that it's also people that are buying them want to support the artist.
Of course,
if you're going to a show, if you're going to a show at a room that's like, you know, a mid-size room, like an 800 cap room, you're going to that show because you're supporting that artist. It's not about being a part of the thing. When you're selling out arenas or stadiums or something, like that's a whole different thing. Like those people may or may not, but like buy a $40 album or vinyl from that artist. But like the people that are going to an 800 cap room to see that artist will, if they have the money, they will for sure spend the money to support that artist. You know,
I think it's so funny still that bands have CD release shows, even though nobody listens to CDs anymore. But you just have to have that physical thing if you don't have a record or whatever. So it's weird still to me.
Yeah.
But like you said, they're just trying to support the band and everything. And that's something that's always going to be cheap. Who knows? That could come back too.
CDs will probably make a comeback at some point as well. It's all cyclical.
I think they are. I think
Yeah.
I think we're going to see CDs come back for sure.
Yeah, next 10 years, definitely, I think.
I could see like some like really rare, like, do they even do first pressing of CDs? But I'm sure they do. And then like unopened and it's still got the Best Buy tag on it.
They'll start putting CD players back in cars again.
No, and then
I would love that.
Yeah.
And like we got to bring back the 90s bonus track. Like at track 14, you got to wait 2 minutes after track 13.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, 100%.
I'm talking Discmans with ESP on it. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Bring that back. I guarantee you that you go to eBay right now, they're probably $100 a pop.